Hello and welcome to our podcast, No Point. I'm Chippy Bree.
I hate this part.
Why?
Every time.
Why?
Why do you always start the podcast?
Well, you take it. We'll run it back.
Run it back?
Yeah, run it back. You got
it. Ready? Hello and welcome to No Point Podcast. I'm your host, Francis, and this is Who Cares? And welcome to the show. We're going to be
talking about anything, everything, and nothing at all. See, because I have to steal your part now.
Oh, never mind then. I take it all back. You can redo the podcast.
We've already done this.
No.
Francis, I almost died this week. And I have been waiting to tell you about how I almost died all week for this show.
Really?
I almost was killed.
No way.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, but we have to.
You have not told me?
No, I was.
No, I have no
I was
idea.
with our mom and her sister when this happened, and the second they happened, they were talking about it, and I go, "Don't say a word to Francis."
We have to cancel this
Don't
podcast,
say a word to Francis. Why?
We have to cancel this podcast.
Why?
Because now you're not telling me things that are happening in your life. You're gonna go to the hospital one day, and I'm not gonna know for like 2 weeks. They're gonna pretend you're on vacation, and you're just gonna use.
I want to talk
podcast.
about how I almost died.
Okay, talk about it.
I swore our sister and our mom to secrecy.
Before you talk about that, nothing here. Nothing yet.
Nothing yet.
You're a loser.
All right, but hold on.
That's on you guys.
Let's roll the intro.
Okay, roll the
intro.
I'm
Ready?
good.
Intro.
Okay. How'd you die, buddy?
I'm
glad you.
I didn't die.
You didn't die?
I would like.
Boo! The story
I would like to make that very clear. I did not die.
Oh,
I
wow.
almost died.
You know, we would have got more views on this podcast
If I
you
died,
were.
would that
Or
be the
you would just
clickbait title?
play it. You gotta go.
Well, here's the thing, right? And
Would
the
family be allowed to tell me what happened if you had died?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
they would have died with me. It was like a.
I almost lost the whole
family almost died, and they were like, "We have to tell Francis about this." And I go, "Do me a favor, don't tell him."
This would explain so much of the week. Like why my mom has always been like, "You'll never know when we're all gone."
Oh
like,
yeah,
she's
no,
been
it was
making
very
comments
scary.
about that.
Especially, so basically, right?
Yes. Tell
Our
me what
mother
happened.
has a broken hand.
Yes.
Right, so she cannot drive.
Mhm.
So I went to go pick her up from work. To set the scene, right, our mom works kind of... Actually, before I get into the story of how we died, I almost forgot to tell people. Guys, if this is your first time listening to our podcast, we are glad to have you. If you're listening on...
That was so...
If you're listening on...
such a space.
Well, I feel weird we didn't greet the new
Oh,
people.
hi.
If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, welcome. Make sure to follow or subscribe to our podcast. Also, so you know each week when we post a new episode. Also, if you are listening to the podcast, know that we do have a video version of the podcast available on our YouTube channel, Broski Studios, where people are watching us right now.
Oh my god, I hope they're all watching it on YouTube as well, because you are wearing a snazzy shirt, may I say.
Thank you. I went to church today.
Oh, I did too. I'm just not in a snazzy shirt.
We have two different church-going outfits.
It's alright.
Alright, so now I'm going to get into how I died, right?
Yeah.
How I almost died.
Okay.
So...
How you died.
How I died.
We're going to the clickbait title
Right?
now.
So our mother...
One hand.
Works-
One hand mother.
Our
Call it Captain Hook.
mother works off a main street. So there's
Yeah.
like a main street, a side street, then where she works,
I know
right?
where she works.
Yeah, I was
I've
trying to
seen
let them know.
I see.
Right? I pick her up, I'm leaving. We're
Okay.
leaving her office. All of a sudden, down the side street, come two black pickup trucks chasing each other, right? So this pickup truck is going straight. The other pickup truck pulls over the left side of the road, like passes it illegally, cuts
Okay.
it off. This car backs up, cuts it off the other way. They were in a modern day road rage chase.
They were just continuing to cut each other off?
to cut each other off and speeding away and trying to get away from each other, right?
Why were they doing that?
I don't know.
That's cool.
But so we were going one way, like we were in one lane and they
Sure.
were going the other lane.
Okay.
But the other one cut into our lane to try to like cut off the other driver.
Yeah.
And we were driving and we were so lucky
So the
to
black
stop
truck was coming
head on
and in your lane.
until they swerved back to cut off the other person.
Yeah.
And our
Well,
mother,
that guy should win. First of all, the guy, because he's the one that took the biggest
well,
risk.
you think they would stop. You think they would be like, all right, now
Now
was a close.
there's people
They kept going and all down the entire street, cutting each other off and screaming at each other. There must have been something that happened. There were two young guys.
Sure.
And they were screaming, yelling.
Did they have the same type of truck?
Yeah,
Both
it was
black.
One, I think one was
Black
like a
trucks?
Ford, one was a Chevy, but they were
Ooh,
both black.
maybe it was 'cause of
that's
that.
why.
That's it.
But
I didn't know this.
And our mom was like, oh my gosh, we almost died. And I was like, well, we almost, like, it was gonna be a head-on
Were you in the front seat? Or no, Cat was
Cat was driving. I was in the back seat. My mom was in the passenger seat. But Cat slammed on the brake, and they cut it off.
This? Like,
well, because
sometimes
like, you
in the
could
back
hear it.
seat-
You could hear the...
Our mother drives a van, so in the backseat of a van, I don't know about this, but just every time backseat of the van, people know nothing, right? So much could happen in the front seat of the van, but the backseat won't know anything. You're like in your own little village, right?
No, you could hear the skrrr of the trucks and like the ram and like the boom, boom, boom.
So you were focused on this. You weren't just
yeah,
on your
like
phone.
my mom was like, "What the heck is that?" I think someone just got hit. They're coming down probably 65 miles an hour.
Sure.
Turning, like, I wish I was exaggerating this story.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder. I genuinely am so
How
curious.
close
and they
did
kept
they
going.
get to you?
We were gonna call like. I would genuinely say like less than a yard. Less than
3
feet
feet
before they swerved back in the other lane. Like we were we could. I stared this man down in the driver's seat.
Okay, so like you want to take away the license of the guy, but
Well,
also you want to give him a
we
second
were
one.
gonna call the cops.
Well, you want to give a second one
he was
because how
obviously-
good a driver
he was a good driver.
He was a great one.
Bad, reckless driver, but not a bad
Good driver. He's a bad driver, but a good driver.
I wish Kat was here to like tell you like
Yes.
this is. I wish I was exaggerating this story. Like our mom for the entire day. I'm surprised she kept it in. She was like, I almost died. She told everyone.
I love that
we
you guys
almost-
don't matter.
we almost
like
called
she's
the-
like I almost
We were
died.
gonna call the cops on these people,
Sure.
but they were all gone. Like they just pulled and then they pulled back on and they were chasing each other. Like I genuinely need to know what I'm saying.
I want to
each
know
other.
who's the last person to cut each other off. Like, do you do that all day? Who stops?
Who stopped?
Who's do you finally get to your destination? like rumor says they're still driving right now. Tell me if they're in Ohio yet.
I'm in front of you now.
do they stay at the motel together?
Honestly, it left me with more questions
Sure.
than answers.
That's crazy. Okay, if you died right now, though, let's say you died right
Okay,
now.
I'm dead.
You're dead. No.
I'm
Are you
alive,
happy?
but I'm dead.
Are you happy? Like, have you done enough? Like, have you feel like...
No.
No?
No.
Really? I think that's where we differ. If I die right now, I'm good.
You're content?
I'm
You're
content.
okay?
You know what? I did some things.
Francis today in the car ride to church goes, you know, it stinks. And I go, what? And he goes, we're not going to be buried at the cemetery. And we were like, what? And he goes, there's definitely not enough room for me.
Oh, you know,
As
that's...
if they ran out of room.
They're gonna run out of room. This is a valid question. No, I hate this because I'm looking at the cemetery and it looks booked. It doesn't look like there's
Where are they
room
going
for
to
me.
put me?
Where? Are they gonna build another land?
I think, like, genuinely,
Yeah.
like, at what point, like, when it's, like, 1912 on the gravestone, do you just dig them up?
Here's my thing.
Cremate them?
Eventually, right? Let's say the world lasts 300 years, right?
Okay,
or
I'm
400,000 more years.
You're
right?
wondering if there's going to be more dead bodies.
More dead bodies than
alive
live
bodies.
people. No, or more. We literally take up all the space. What if that ever happens? Where people don't have houses because the dead body.
I think we'd just get over it. I think we would just.
We'd get
mass
over
graves.
funerals?
No, I think we would do mass graves.
We're trying to do that in
Just
World
one
War II.
hole, and just everybody goes in that hole.
Well, it's still a big
Hey,
hole.
where's Jim? Probably the hole.
Okay, yes, that's more efficient, but let's say
It's
for some
also
reason-
way more efficient when
No,
you
no.
want to go visit your dead relative. You don't have to go find down the
What
plot.
are you here for?
I'm here for Jim, Judy, Joey, and
You've
Jim.
probably got a big
They're all in
gravestone.
here.
Yeah, I've always felt bad for people without gravestone. That's always been a little sad.
Because
They just don't have one. But what I do want to say is, I'm content if I died right now.
okay.
And also, I'm sure I'd get a spot.
Would you?
I'm
you think
sure
they're dead
I
right
get a
now. You're
spot.
in this. He's in the cemetery right now.
Because here's the thing, right? I feel like if they come up with a new plan for cemeteries, right?
Mhm.
If they come up with a new plan and they're like, actually, from now on, we can't bury people. We realize that was a stupid
Cremation.
concept. Or let's say, cremation. We'll throw them in the ocean, right?
What? Cremation will. Those are two very different things. Imagine
want
just the kids swimming at the beach, and there's Uncle Jim just something touched my legs. Yeah, we just throw him in the ocean now, guys.
Well, here's the thing. I personally don't want somebody in my house.
Hold on.
Do you think it's not recording?
I think that no, it's still recording. I lied, guys. I heard a beep, and I thought that the camera stopped recording.
I'm sorry.
But we're still
But
recording.
here's my question, right? Here's the thing. If the government ever told me, no more burying, you must cremate. I don't want it in my house, right? Like, I don't want
You know, a lot
guy's
of people wear the
ashes.
cremation on their
That's,
neck.
and I obviously, I respect that. Like, you can have your own thing and what you like. I wouldn't like...
I'm not offended by this, Francis.
I know, but I'm like,
Oh,
some people have that, and I know people that have it. But I'm gonna be honest, JP. If your dying wish was me to wear a little piece of you,
You wouldn't?
I would never, JP. I would never. I would throw it in the ocean. But anyway, I feel like if for some reason they're like, hey, you gotta cremate, you gotta do this, they're not gonna dig up all the old ones.
No.
Right? I'll be good. So if I die now, before
you
the
want
new
to die
system,
now.
I need to die before the new
I
system
can't imagine
comes
this
in.
doesn't happen for another 50, 100,000 years. No way. Francis, think about how
Get in
small
early.
and how few cemeteries there are.
Here's the thing.
At what point? I don't think it becomes
Back in
a
the
problem.
day, no one talks about this because everyone's like, the inflation of gas, the inflation of movie theater, the inflation of death, right?
Death
Here's
is
the
a lot
thing.
of money
It
to
used
die.
to be like, I think, free, right? You didn't charge me to die. You could dig your hole yourself. You put it anywhere. And you just like, bingo. And then eventually somebody built a house on you, right? Because there were no places where it belonged. But that was fine to me. Nowadays, it costs you so much money to die. If I die
Let's
now...
open a cemetery.
Yeah.
Let's buy a plot of land. Let Jim Bury.
That's the easiest business. That's the easiest business, I feel like, to create, but the hardest business to get into. Because... how do you advertise?
My friend's dad works at a funeral home, and I'm like, how do you get into it?
But every funeral home, right, has been out for like hundreds of
Yeah.
years, or over 100 years. Like, I've never seen one just pop up, or no one's ever say, oh, I get mine. I bury all my family members at the mom and pop store.
Well, I said that if I was a murderer and like I had to bury a body,
He
I'd
did say
bury
that.
it in a grave.
That's a great
like
idea.
I just dig up somebody else's and then throw them in.
Weird idea.
That's where, because when they dig that up and they're like, hey guys, there's a body in here, they'll be like, yeah, it's a grave.
Fantastic.
All right, are we done talking about death? Because I'd like to address some rumors.
I can't believe you're not content.
I would like to.
What else did you want to do?
I would like to address some rumors.
Yeah, sure. Some
I'd like to
rumors about
address-
us?
About you.
About me?
About you.
Okay, if this is from TikTok Room, it's all true.
No. So, a good friend of ours, Tony the Toxic Owl,
Sure.
also a TikToker, is Jerry. If you guys watch our Twitch streams, you would know about Jerry, right?
Sure.
So, here's the thing. Jerry has kind of added this stereotype to your personality, where Jerry insists that whenever you talk about anything, Jerry says, we get it, you're TikTok famous. And Jerry implies that your only conversation you can ever have is about you being TikTok famous. Jerry has, and I would like to say he really pushed this stereotype on
It's
you,
a very big...
right?
No, and I have a major problem with this. Because I never talk about it. Because I don't... Who talks about that? And all my friends make fun of me because they're always the ones that talk about it and are like, why don't you talk about it? I was like, because you don't bring it up, right? If anything, I avoid it at all costs.
I told one of my
I try to
friends-
convince people I'm not. Like, if they're like, you're from TikTok, I'm like, no, that can't be me.
One of my friends once was talking like, hey, you see this TikTok video, or send me a TikTok video, and I was like, please don't mix work with pleasure. And then they were like, what do you think of Addison Rae? And I was like, she's a good colleague.
I mean, come on.
She's a good colleague. But Jerry has pushed this unfair stereotype about that everything you
Everything I
have
have
to
to
mention it.
yeah.
But I did hear you in the other room, right?
Oh,
And
this isn't real.
You were in online class.
Oh,
You were in funny enough, I was on FaceTime with Tony the Toxic Owl while this happened. But you were in the other room, and you were in class.
one time.
You were in the marketing class, and you could not shut up about TikTok to this teacher. And
this is messed up.
It was a bit.
Can I?
It really made me like I'm not taking
Okay.
it made me take this whole because I thought it was an unfair stereotype.
It is.
But
Stop it.
You were like,
Stop
yeah,
it.
you know,
Stop
I
it.
get to bring my
First of all-
voice to the world.
First of all, I need you. I'm gonna talk now. All right, buddy. Before you just push
Defend
this
yourself,
up.
please.
Here's my thing.
I'm just letting the people know what I heard.
Don't listen to anything you said. What I want you to know is, right, outside of this one case scenario, have you ever heard me in a public event mention it?
Well, we're in the
Or bring
middle
it
of
up.
a pandemic, and it's the first time I heard you on a Zoom call, and you couldn't shut up about
Here's
it.
the thing. I was in a Zoom call class, right?
Were
And
you flirting
at-
with this teacher?
No, stop. I was in a Zoom call class, and then Zoom call, I don't know if you know this, but all's fair in Zoom, right? All's fair in Zoom. It's
Okay.
the Wild West on Zoom, right? You know, and I mean that literally, right? In the Wild West, there were no laws. You could do whatever. You could steal somebody's wagon. You could bury Fred somewhere, right?
Yep.
That was a good time. Zoom is like that too because there's not much rules, which is why at the beginning, people were joining people's Zoom classes.
Oh, absolutely.
And then things like happened and then they made rules, right? So I'm in a Zoom class, right? And the Zoom class is for a college course, and we haven't met.
You haven't met her?
No. I have not met her.
So it's strangers you mentioned it to.
No, stop. No.
So I can't mention it to my friends because that's a bit high and mighty. But if you're a random Joe, hey buddy, I'm TikTok.
So
not to flex on you peasant.
No, it's not even
defend yourself. I'm impartial in this whole situation.
No, it seems like you're very partial. Okay,
I'm just an outside view on this.
Here's the thing, right? So I'm thinking, I've never met this teacher before, right? Because she was like, you can come to class, and I'll have a class every week,
but
it's not required.
Yeah.
So as soon as I heard that, I heard, oh, we don't have class, right? Because if it's not required,
frankly, you couldn't make it every class. You were quite busy. You had to post TikTok.
No, if there's no required class, I'm not going, okay?
Yeah.
All right, we can all establish that. That's just the thing to do. So all year, what would happen is we'd get a Connect, and I don't know if you know what that is, but it's basically you have a textbook, and every week there were just, like different like questions and stuff, and you had to fill them out. These were hard. It took 2.5 hours to finish it. It was like 100 questions, and if you got it wrong, it forced you back to the lecture, and you had to redo all of them. Like, it was tough. They took 2.5 hours.
So you were hoping maybe your teacher would go easier on you. And you just mentioned. And maybe they had a kid who really enjoyed your content. Maybe you could use this to your advantage.
You're picking a side. And
I'd like to remind the viewers that I'm totally impartial on this whole situation.
So again, I'm doing these assignments every week.
You sit on a roof all day. It's nothing really to brag about.
I'm gonna hit you. Now I'm doing the assignments, but the issue is the assignments are graded, right? And you can't fake a thing. And I would never read the lectures. Even when I didn't understand the questions, so they do it. So every week, I would get C's on the 100 things, and they added up, right? But those were only worth 20% of the grade. There was a big final presentation. This was a marketing class. And at the end of the school semester, you had to present this, right? And what you had to present was you had to make a product. And you had to present it and do like a little marketing thing and like how you would market it and what you would do. Now, would you like to know? You know my idea, obviously.
Yeah.
I did Robo.
It was make everyone tick.
Shut up. It was called Robo Bestie, and it was a robot best friend.
That wouldn't complain about that when you're talking about Guys, I would actually like it if you know, Francis does not bring this up much.
I don't.
But Tony the Toxic Owl, he's insane to bring it up on every situation.
But so the name was Robo Bestie, and obviously I made this at the beginning of the semester, so I didn't realize how sad I was until I had to present this product. Because Robo Bestie is a very sad idea. It's like one of my marketing slogans was, "Have you been stabbed in the back by too many people? Does it hurt to trust? Like, have Robo Bestie."
I do have an advantage. I don't know if you marketed the Robo Bestie, but an advantage is when they die, you don't have to bury it.
But like,
you just sell them for parts.
Obviously, it wasn't functional. Like I could never argue that this was a functional idea, like how to charge it every night, everything like that.
You don't know how to build a robot.
Also, it was like so Robo Bestie could give you hugs, which is just sadder and sadder. No, I don't want one. But imagine now forgetting that when I first designed the product, I forgot that I had to present this at the end of the year. So I'm looking at this product going, she's going to think I'm the saddest man that's ever walked the earth. And I know that all my grades up until this point are C's. So I know I need to go.
C's dead degrees, buddy.
I need to go hard, right? And basically how the class worked was it was like presenting days, and there was like 10 different presenting days, and if you didn't want to present, you didn't have to, but you got bonus points if you presented. Okay. Right? You could just upload the PowerPoint. And I go, there's no way I'm just uploading this PowerPoint without any words. Because if so, I'm going on a list.
This reminds me of, I just had to submit an introduction, and I had to put a song that really sums up my life. And I went with one of my favorite songs, I Just a Kid by Simple Plan. And the reasoning was, I go, because oh my god.
My life is a nightmare.
I'm just a kid, my life is a nightmare. And I said, I picked this song because much like the song says, my life is a nightmare.
Well, that was basically my theory. I go, if I send this, Especially if you take the beginning clip of this and where I go, I'm content in dying. It's a problem, right? So I was like, I'm gonna present it. I'm gonna get the bonus points because I haven't done well on all the other things, right? So there were 3 dates, right? And I haven't even started this presentation. She was like, there is a 3rd date, but only use it if you need to. It's later in the semester, but you have to email me before. So obviously I email her for the 3rd date. Right, she goes, fine, no worries, great. So I go.
Can I make fun of the other girl's product real quick?
No, we'll get there. I
like that, because I overheard this whole conversation.
So anyway, I'm now in a class. I wake up early. It's the earliest I've woken up in months. It's like 10 o'clock. I wake up early. I get ready for this.
Why do you have the ability to sleep in some days?
I don't know.
Don't you have a job?
Yeah.
You do.
So anyway.
You want to talk about it?
I think I told
no one else
I told her I couldn't present on the other days because of work. And I think it was just film a TikTok. But anyway, I'm presenting, and the only people that are here on this class day are me, one girl, and the teacher. I said the reason why I needed to present this is because me talking about my TikTok was only between me, one girl, and the teacher. And it was mostly between me and the teacher. But anyway, I present the product, and I know the product's bad. And
can I talk about the other girl's product? She went first.
Okay,
she went first, and let's talk about a bad product. She pitched something that glasses don't get lost. So she was like, it's like a rope around your neck. That product exists. I did not have the heart to tell
It does.
the girl.
In our marketing class, the girl before me pitched a rope around glasses so people wouldn't lose them. It does exist. And I knew that. He knows that. JP's in the other room sending me product info about that product and goes, she wanted one real
Not
bad.
only does it exist, but people get bullied for using them.
Not only does it exist, and that people get bullied for using them, but also she didn't wear glasses.
No?
No.
Well, maybe she wasn't informed.
She was just trying to help the disabled, I guess, in the glasses.
Disabled?
Yeah, if you can't see, you're disabled. I wear glasses. It's a disability.
I wear glasses. I can make fun of it.
It's a disability.
Sure. All right.
Anyway,
continue about your product.
So she presents first, and she does her glasses. She presents this product that already exists. And I'm like,
to get her on Shark Tank.
Well, mine's ridiculous, so I can't even do it.
Yours is ridiculous, but at least
so anyway, I present.
At least it's not plagiarized.
So I'm presenting the product, and I'm giving it the Francis flair. Because if there's one thing I know how to do, it's how to like talk, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, has this ever happened to you? You don't know what to do. You're alone. No one will play with you. You're sick of COVID, and you don't want to catch it. Well, what do we have for you? We got a Robo-Bestie. I'm giving it the whole Francis Shazam.
I'm excited.
And I do the product, and she goes, great. How are you gonna market it? And I was like,
not how she gonna build it?
No. Apparently, she did not care that this product was impossible to make. When asked about,
I'm going to the glasses. I just wish she was like, how are you planning on making this?
No. So when asked, she goes, how are you gonna charge it? And I go, it charges itself every night. And she goes, that's interesting. And I go, it darn right is. Because if you can figure it out, that's my product. Like just that in itself, it will charge everything by itself. Because I have to charge everything.
Oh yeah, no, that
was a great
product. Something that makes phones charge itself.
Makes anything charge itself.
I got another idea. You want to hear my idea?
Yeah,
what I would pick, right? So something that just goes around
the glasses.
I digress.
You know what? I want like a ring I can put my keys on, so I don't lose them as easy.
Oh, but all the keys stay together. That's a ring. Yeah.
So anyway,
we're gonna copyright that. We're gonna sell that.
I just pitched a product that already exists. Anyway, so we're talking. She goes, "How are you gonna market this?" And I go, "Oh, I forgot this was a part." And I go, "I'm gonna market it through social media, right? The go-to
Good
answer."
idea.
She goes, "What kind of social media?" And I go, TikTok. And she, because I'm like, boom, perfect, TikTok. And she goes, "Oh, do you have any experience? Like what would you do?" And when asked about if you have any experience in TikTok, I decided this is my one chance to make her think, I'm good at marketing. So I explain the story of like the TikTok, and I'm like, and obviously like how I built that and what I would do, and she was fascinated with it, right?
Yeah.
She was. I mean, you were in the other room, right? She was like laughing at all the jokes. She turned her mood all the way around.
She seemed very into it.
She was like, she goes, I love your product. Like, I wish I could get one for, because I also marketed for elderly.
She wants one.
She did. She wanted
the glasses product.
No, I think she did. She did. She literally said. She said, I lose my glasses all the time. And I was like, yeah. Well, they make it, man. And she was like, she literally at the end, she goes, and I love when people pitch products that I could see being made in the next 5 years. I go, if you could see my product being made in the 5 years, you're out of your mind.
You're ahead of the
like,
future.
But also, here's how wrong that sentence is. You could see my product made in 5 years. You could see hers 10 years back.
That product was made before cemeteries were a thing.
Yeah. So anyway, so I'm giving her this, and she's like, man, I had such a pleasure. And she sends the other girl off. The other girl leaves, and she goes, I had such a pleasure talking to you. Like, you know, I have another friend that's like trying to get into like the TikTok thing, and like, he was like, I bet you'd have tons of questions for her if I could like reach out with an email. I was like, absolutely. She goes, grades will be in next week. Don't worry. You're gonna do great. You're great. I go, thank you, teach. I leave the class.
Okay.
She emails us. She goes, oh, grades are a little late. I'm going to get them in right before the deadline.
Oh, what a jerk.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I'm going to get them right in before the deadline. The deadline is December, 23rd. December 22nd, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, let me check the grades. Nothing's up. I don't care. I forget about it. I check December 24th.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Christmas
Eve.
What did she give you?
Grades are canceled.
I'm intrigued. What did she give
I know.
you? Tell me right now. What did she give you?
Everybody coming close for this. She gave me a C.
A C?
She gave me a C! After that TikTok story, she gave me a C. And I am blown away. Now, it makes complete sense, because I have, up until this point, got a C on everything, except for that final project. But a C. She said she'd take care of me. And I've never felt more wrong. And it was one of the few times in my life that my BS backfired. Like, my BS didn't work. I got through high school and, my first years of college on complete BS, and I thought it would work again, and it didn't. So no,
you're admitting right here. He's admitting to it right here on the podcast. You thought the bringing up TikTok would give
get
you
me
an
a better
advantage
grade because it shows marketing.
Fun fact: I had to write my intros.
No,
right? I had to write my intros for the class, and we had to do a fun fact.
Yeah.
Right? Each class, I did a different fun fact, but I worded TikTok a little differently. So one was I make TikToks for a living. Another one was I'm a professional gamer because Twitch, right? Another one was like I host and own podcast. So each one I like to spice it up.
But here's the thing, right? And I don't make it sound like I'm like, oh well, TikTok should give me advantages. That no, if this was a history class,
you would not.
I expect my TikTok to mean nothing. If this was a, I don't know, math class, it would mean jack. Right? But it's a marketing class. I deserve a little extra credit. I think I'm a little good at marketing. Not the best. But all I'm saying is, I'm 99% sure I got more TikTok followers than my marketing teacher. And she's trying to make a TikTok too. So all I'm saying is, I deserve a C+. I deserve a C+.
Alright, do you know what my correlation today
Absolutely
and why I'm bringing in marketing to this podcast?
No, because that entire segment was me defending myself on why I'm bringing it up to a class.
I'm completely impartial.
No.
But I do have to call Tony Tyson after this.
You stabbed me with a knife.
Oh, we get it. Your TikTok name. We get it.
Never bring it up. That's the only time.
So let's talk about something, right? I don't know if you guys on the video podcast would know this. You on the audio podcast would not know this. Me and Francis have new No Point and Broski Studios mugs that we have been lucky enough to be drinking with, right?
One of us has to talk while we drink. Did
you
drink all yours?
Yeah, I drank all
I just saw you fake drink, and I was like, disgust?
Yeah, don't tell me what fake drink.
I was like, it was the worst fake drink I've ever seen.
But why I'm bringing up these mugs in marketing, right, guys, is for a limited time only, we will be selling these mugs. We're just asking for a donation that helps the podcast, right? We are going to be having these mugs for purchase on our website, www.broskistudios.com/Mug Maifa. We also, simultaneously to this podcast, will be posting a infomercial for the mugs on our YouTube channel.
Really showing off that
Studios,
marketing class
showing
I
off
was in.
Francis's marketing
Let's
class.
see what
that
a
he was in.
C can
so
give
if you
me.
want to see what the best marketing that his college could catch him, make sure you go check that out.
If you want to see what a C in marketing guy could come up with an infomercial looks like, make sure you check out that infomercial. It's going to be posted with this podcast.
You'll find it. It'll be on our Broski Studios.
YouTube.
But the moral of the story, guys, is it would mean the world to us if you guys supported our podcast, supported our YouTube channel by going to our website, Broski Studios, /Mug Mafia, joining the Mug Mafia. So here's some things that you get for being in the Mug Mafia. You want to hear about this?
Yeah, I would love to.
You want to hear about this? So first of all, it's a $35 donation.
Yep.
Right? To help the podcast.
Yep.
That comes with a free mug.
Free mug
With free shipping and handling.
Also numbered. People like that. There's only 100.
There's only 100 of these made.
Because
only 100.
Why do I need more than 100
right?
mug?
We will be numbering each mug 1 through 100, so you'll know exactly which mug you have right on the bottom.
Yep.
We will be mailing these mugs to you. Free shipping and handling included in the price, right, guys?
Guys, you have no idea how much shipping is.
There's also a surprise gift that comes with each mug.
Yeah.
That will be from yours truly, Francismo10 on TikTok, but the character Francismo10. So that can be a personalized video message from Francismo10. That can be anything from a weird item, like a rock that he drew a face on. There will be some kind of mystery item that it will be picked individually from Francismo10. You will also get an exclusive role in our Discord server for being a member of what we are calling the Mug Mafia. There will be only 100 members of this Mug Mafia.
That's it. That's it.
And there's many more cool surprises that comes along with joining the Mug Mafia. So if that is something that interests you, it would mean the world to us and help the podcast if you go to www.broskistudios.com/Mug Mafia.
And you can feel what a drink of me feels like. Man, that's seeing marketing stunk.
Well, they get to watch the information.
They get to watch the information. You can
know the
see
word.
it no matter what.
So once the 100 sell out, there will be. That's it. We're sorry. We love you. And it would mean the world to us if you supported the podcast.
For different videos and stuff to make more than 100.
Now, if that is not something that interests you, you can also help us make this podcast by donating financially via PayPal, Cash App, Venmo. That's all Broski Studios. Or you can support the podcast monthly by going to www.broskistudios.com/podcast. That's some fun stuff. But if you want the mug, while supplies last, Mug Mafia, act now. That would mean the world to us. We also
would really support us as well. Let's just go on Apple Music and leave it another 5-star
Oh, yes!
review.
If you are listening to this on Apple Music or on YouTube, make sure you leave a like. And on Apple Music,
or a
please
dislike. If you
go
hate it,
and
just dislike.
leave a 5-star review and let us know what you think of the podcast. That means the world to us, right? We also live stream daily on twitch.tv/Broski Studios. If you want daily, me and Francis, we play some games there. We also have another podcast if you like football. It's called BS Sports, where we host with the wonderful Trace Trorco. So you can check that out.
Yep.
We also have merch if you go to www.broskistudios.com/merch. Can you think of anything else?
Yeah.
Make sure to tune in for the next episode. Also join our Discord server. That will be leaked down below on our YouTube video. That's all I can think of.
And if you're looking for a cemetery,
code word.
I'm gonna start one.
Oh, Twitter, Broski Studios.
Twitter.
Instagram, Broski Studios.
Who wants to get on the ground floor
is
with me at Twitter?
Francis is Francismo10.
Almost about to hit 100,000.
Francis is about to hit 100,000. 6,000 followers away.
Okay.
All right, code word. I'm thinking it's just. You know what I want? I want people to tweet at us at Broski Studios. What they think of our cemetery debate. The whole thing. I want to know if they're content with their life. I want to know if they think we're gonna run out of room at the cemetery.
Yeah.
I want to know.
If you're content dying.
Code words.
Code words.
We get it. You're TikTok famous. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. Leave. We get it. You're TikTok.
I said it one time.